Hi guys, it's Carol from Cape Cod Cottage Garden. The sun has finally decided to show its face. I don't know about you, but I'm useless when the sun doesn't shine. I am so unmotivated. But today I'm going to try to prune my hydrangeas. Last year I didn't do a great job at pruning back my bobo hydrangeas, so I really want to get to work on those today. So come along. So here's a look at my bobos. I have 3 of them in my front walkway bed. I didn't take the flower heads off. I really like how they look in the wintertime. They're just pretty and they have a movement and I just like them. But now is the time. I'm going to show you how last year I neglected to prune these really well and I'm regretting it now. Because let me show you from this side, you can get a better look at what I mean. Let's see. Look at all that thin, spindly growth. That should have all been taken off last year, like all these little thin ones. So I'm gonna do that today. So I'm probably gonna hit these pretty hard. You can tell how floriferous, oh, that was a tough word, these are just by the blooms that are still on here. A lot of them fell off. And actually they kind of overwhelmed this space. So I don't think taking them back hard is gonna be a bad thing. So in order to do that, some supplies you will need is I have my green waste basket there. I think that's made by, I don't know, Fiskars maybe? Yeah, Fiskars. I love this thing because it collapses down to nothing. I have my alcohol here with a little cup so I can clean my pruners, my knee pad, my gloves, 2 different pruners, and I have my rake. I'm not going to rake up all the debris underneath quite yet because there's probably some nice beneficial insects nesting in there still, but I am gonna prune these back. So let's get going. I have to be really careful where I step and where I place my stuff because I have things coming up everywhere. Tulips and garden phlox. I'm practically nailing on a tulip right here. You can't really see it, but it's right there. And it got partially eaten by the bunnies already. So the first thing I'm gonna do is remove all of the flower heads. Let's do that first. So I have these two done compared to that one. So you can see how much we took it down. Is it perfect? Nope. But these were so far gone, I did the best with what I had. So hopefully they'll look better this year. Now I'll try to get in closer on this one so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay guys, I took off all the bloom heads and look at all this tiny spindly growth. The rule of thumb is to take out anything that's like less than a pencil, but if that was the case, I'd have to take out almost all of this. This is a fairly young plant. We're coming on our 3rd season in the ground. But this is what happens when you don't prune your hydrangeas. So I'm gonna have to take this back pretty hard. Okay, the barking dog is gone. With bobos, they are a little later blooming than the other panicles, so the buds aren't really super swollen yet, but let me see if I can show you. These, the little swollen nodes there. So when you make any of your cuts, you want to go like right above, like right there, above one of the swollen nodes. So the general rule of thumb is take it down by 1/3, remove any dead or dying branches. This is only like coming on 3 years, so there's not a lot of dead branches here, but anything that might be crossing and rubbing like this right here. Let's see if I can show you an example. See how this right here, they're rubbing against each other? So I'm going to take this one out all the way to the ground and I'll just pop that out. And then I just go through slowly and take it all back. So I'm just raking up some of the debris, the leaves and stuff. I don't usually clean my leaves out from around my plants this early. It's only what, March 10th, but these really needed a hard prune and it was impossible to prune them well without seeing the base of the plant. So I did end up cleaning up a little bit of the leaves. I'm not going to clean it perfectly, but just get the big stuff out like that so you can get a better look at what we actually did. I'll take you in for a close-up. I know it's noisy with the leaf blower, but from this angle you can really see. I'll zoom in how how much smaller they are. Next up, we're gonna move on to another paniculata I have, what are these called? Limelight primes, one there, and the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little limes. So those are paniculatas, so you can take those down pretty hard. I did prune these last year, so you can see they're in a little better shape. They're not quite as spindly as the Bobos were. Well, we've lost the sun and it's decidedly colder, so I don't know if I'm gonna get to finish, but you can see I did those 3 and I have those 3 over there left. Look at the difference. I actually did that one too. So here we are along my fence garden border, and these are the blue mophead or Macrophylla hydrangeas. These are the ones that grow on old wood. Now these particular ones are from proven winners, and they're called Let's Dance Rhythmic Blue. They actually, these ones are a little weird, they do grow on new wood too, but we're gonna call them Macrophyllas that grow on old wood, otherwise known as mopheads. And for these, you certainly don't want to cut them back hard, because these buds were set last year and these are where your bloom's going to be. If you remember last year we had that Arctic freeze, and the Arctic freeze killed a lot of our mophead or Macrophylla hydrangeas. So our hydrangea festival last year wasn't what it could have been. It was still lovely because obviously the paniculatas, like the Bobos, they grow no matter what because they grow on new wood. For these, all I'm going to do is clip off the flower head. I'm also going to go through and look for any more obviously dead wood, but sometimes this stuff looks dead and it's not truly dead. Like this one looks kind of dead, but if I scratch the surface, I might be able to see that there is some green in there. So that's what I usually do. These ones are pretty nicely pruned. I've kept up on these, so there's not a lot of spindly things to get rid of anyway. So I'm just going to take off the blooms. I'm going to go all the way down the line. These 2 right here are smaller because we replaced those last year. So this is coming on 3 years, and that's a year old, so you can see the difference. Let's get to it. So this little plant is one we replaced last year. This is along my fence garden, a rhythmic blue. It looks a little worse for wear. It looks like initially it wasn't pruned very well. I mean, look at all this spindly crossing stuff. But I don't want to take anything off yet until I see the buds emerge. I did take a few stems off that were dead, like right here. But there is some buds on it. Get it to focus. See the buds right there? I don't know why it won't focus. But there is some buds on it. There's some buds on the other side. But overall, the plant just looks not great. This plant, the tag is still on it. It was $65. So these are quite pricey plants to put in, and you know, you want them to look their best. But hopefully, you know, this is only its first year in the ground, so hopefully it will bounce back. Let's go do the rest. So I have all of those done. It took me 5 minutes because I just took off the mop head flowers. The other thing about these, there's probably a lot more that could be pruned off here, but you'd be surprised. I'll try to pop in some pictures or some video if I have any of how beautiful and full these things look, even though they look quite spindly right now. And then after it leaves out, you can clearly see which stems are dead. So I wait till after it leaves out, and then I'll go through and take out all the dead stems right to the ground. So Okay, so here we are back in my perennial border beside the shed. This is where my drift roses are. And this is what I think is a lace cap or a mountain hydrangea, otherwise known as hydrangea serrata. This got demolished in that Arctic blast last year, and I didn't get one single flower on it this past summer. But this year we had a mild winter, and you can see all the amazing buds on it. Look, guys, all over the plant. It's gonna be stunning if we can just hold out and not have another cold snap. So on this one, I'm gonna do absolutely nothing right now. Once it leaves out, I'll be able to determine which of these stalks are truly dead, and then I can remove them. I mean, best guess, this one's dead. This one's dead. But I don't want to take a chance of cutting off any bloom. So I'm going to leave this one alone. Once it flushes out, I can be able to see clearly which stems I can remove. And when I remove the dead stems, I'll remove them right to the ground. So I just wanted to share that. But guys, oh my gosh, I just noticed. These are my drift roses. They're starting to bud up. Look at, I mean, not bud up, leaf out. Look at. I got to prune these too. I got to prune everything. We'll do rose pruning on another day though. And while I'm back out here, I just want to show you my bulbs. Woohoo! And then I'm going to wrap up. These are my, my grape hyacinth, my mascari. The bunnies have been really going to town. Can you see how it's chewed up? But my daffodils are coming up. Look at all my tulips, guys. Look at my tulips. They're all over. More grape hyacinths and daffodils and tulips. Can you see them all? And I also planted, I believe I planted some. I'll have to look back at my videos. That's why I'm glad I have my videos. Some Globe Master alliums out here. But look, some of these tulips are getting eaten by the bunnies. Right there, right there. A few more, but they're everywhere, guys. Look. Yay! I did step on a couple by accident when I was pruning. Can you see them? So excited! And they're all over my walkway bed too. So guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up, and I hope you enjoyed coming along with me today when I did some chores in my yard, namely pruning my hydrangeas. And I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about the different types of hydrangeas. I mean, I'm no expert. If you're gonna start out, I would say the best way to start out with hydrangeas is a paniculata, because you really can't go wrong with. They always flower. And the paniculatas, I'll put an example up here of what they look like, or I'll cut in some. They have a panicle shape. They're shaped kind of like a cone, hence the name paniculata. The ones I have along the fence are the mop heads. They're round domed. They usually come in blue or pink. Those are the ones that grow on old woods. My particular ones are different though. They grow on old and new wood, but mostly just old wood, so you don't only want to lop off the tops of the flower heads in the spring or late winter as it is now. And then of course the lace cap, which I'll actually just show you a picture of if I can find one, just to show you how that's different. That's also one that grows on old wood, is affected by hard frost, etc., etc., etc. So I hope you enjoyed getting out here. I know for maybe the hour that the sun was out, I was loving it. I don't know if you're like me, but I just really am so motivated when the sun comes out, but when the sun's not out, I'm just kind of lazy, to be honest. If you're enjoying the content, I'd really appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up or even a subscribe if you're so inclined. I love to see people engage with my content. It's great. Until then, just get out and grow. Bye, guys.